It's like I'm worthless, guys. Apparently, there's some allegations of these hospitals are dumping patients outside for reasons unknown. Guys, I am thoroughly interested. This is a suggestion via Patreon, guys. Let's go and check it out. What?
Disturbing scenes on our streets, triggering
check the volume.
Troubleshooters alleging patient dumping
Super
by local
low.
hospitals. Two different $2 million plus patient dumping jury verdicts recently in Kentucky caught our eye. But what really got our attention was where calls to our newsroom led us when we began following up on the complaints.
Let's go.
This story begins December 1st at 5 p.m. with a phone call to our newsroom from a horrified University Hospital employee claiming security had just wheeled a woman all the way out to the corner of Hancock.
No, that can't be real. That can't be real. That can't be real, bro. Is it real? That can't be real. The patient's belongings, but
just off hospital property, dumped.
Guys, we have a problem.
The elderly woman out of the wheelchair on the sidewalk
with healthcare.
Left. Minutes later, we shot video of her, still in a soiled hospital gown and slippers, breathing hard under a blanket placed over her in 36-degree weather, her stuff in a bag next to her. The employee
in December, guys.
She sees this a lot. So I started watching, and on December 16th at 7 p.m., 35 degrees outside, I record 3 security guards surrounding an elderly woman with a walker, slowly escorting her out of the emergency room. She can't move fast. It takes several minutes to make it all the way to the same corner of Hancock and Ali.
Listen, security with help of police. Keep that in mind, guys. With the help of the police. Police? Shouldn't you be helping this act of this company? What they're doing, bro? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little lost here, guys, but I think that the police officer should probably be helping the citizen more so than the security guards, guys, of the company. All right? Let's go. Let's see where this takes us.
Across the street, off the hospital property, the security guards turn around and go back. When they clear, I catch up to her, and she says she can't breathe.
They told me that I couldn't stay on the premises.
Amen. Were you in there as a patient?
Well, I needed to be a patient because I'm sick.
What's wrong with you?
I've got COPD. I got diabetes.
So they wouldn't even treat you?
The doctor talked to me for 1 minute.
And they told you what?
That I had to leave.
What reason did he give you?
He didn't give me a reason.
She tells me she's homeless.
I've got to go.
That's why.
I'm in pain.
No insurance.
I was in a car crash, and it completely shattered my hip and pelvis. Right here, I got like 30-something screwed.
Matthew Hauber and his mother claim a similar story. They met us in front of Wayside Mission in the spot where they say he was dumped in October.
Anywhere. And they said, well, we can't find a rehab right now.
Linda Hauber said when Norton Hospital told her they had a room lined up for Matthew at Wayside, she checked it out.
I called Wayside Christian Mission and just to confirm, and they said no. They said we can't do that. We can't. You know, they have beds and they help them find jobs and stuff, but we don't take medically needy people. We don't do that. And
then she says she had a conference call with the hospital staff.
The social worker said, we're going to take him to a shelter. And I said, which one? And they said, Wayside Christian Mission. And I said, well, I know that's not true because I called them and they don't take him. And then the lady said, the social worker said, well, that's history. Let's think of something else.
Hauber says the next day, her son was unloaded from a transport vehicle on the curb in the rain on Jackson Street in front of Wayside.
I thought,
guys, this is not all right, bro.
I have to put out to the curb.
Right.
They dumped my son.
Right, they dumped your son.
Linda Hauber said she was in no shape to care for him at home, and she died after this interview.
All right, guys. All right, so listen, really quickly, while we're here, once we get the hospital's name, name of the hospital is Norton Hospital. It is in Louisville, Kentucky, on Chestnut Street. Guys, just had to quickly look at the reviews here. Oh my God! If you get a chance, guys, go to Google, type in the name, look at the reviews and go to lowest first, right? Not the high ones, because the high ones are probably employees, right, that are trying to counteract the level of wild. Listen, I'm going to read you one of these, guys. Right? Nurses don't care about patients or about their jobs. My mother was without food and drink for 3 days, and when I asked about IV fluids, because she was dehydrated, they told me the doctors had 3 different orders and 3 different IVs, meds, since they didn't know what an IV was. Bro, what is this, guys? This place is terrible. Okay, I had chest pains. Unless coming, okay, they apparently, if you didn't come from with an ambulance, and they're just going to pretty much ignore you. Avoid Norton's hospital at all costs. There's no outside entrance or parking. You have to come by ambulance. This is what guys. I don't think I've ever seen responses like this, guys. And this is somewhere you're going to get help, and they're basically dumping people out who they think are undesirables, guys. I think absolutely this place should probably be investigated.
They put all their stuff on the sidewalk over there, or they dump them off over here on the sidewalk and get back in that vehicle and get out here just as fast as they can.
Wayside staffer Perry Lane helped Matthew out of the rain and says he witnesses the same kind of thing dozens of times per year from hospitals as far away as Eastern Kentucky. He says they're often lied to about the medical treatment they'll receive at the shelter.
What's the worst physical shape you've seen somebody in who was dumped? This guy here was pretty bad.
Paralyzed. People that can't walk, that are totally relied on a wheelchair. Take them out, put them in the wheelchair, throw all their stuff on the and take off.
Wayside's Chief Operating Officer Nina Mosley tells me it's not uncommon. She says they're not trained medically, and sometimes they take patients right back to the hospitals.
How can you dump people? These are human beings. How can you just dump them and leave them? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's unhuman, man.
We detailed these incidents with dates and times to both Norton and University hospitals. Norton Healthcare Senior Vice President Renee Murphy responded in an email that says, in order to safeguard the privacy of patients and in compliance with HIPAA,
people don't have to actually, you and I, as people, really don't have to comply with anything HIPAA-oriented. Don't allow these people to lie to you guys, right? If they ever give you a response like, oh, you can't have a cell phone here because of HIPAA, that's your responsibility for HIPAA. We're not certified or trained in anything HIPAA-oriented. You are, right? So that means any of the patient's details should probably not be out in the open or be able to be viewed by the public. We don't have to worry about HIPAA. You do. Guys, I'm frustrated.
we are not permitted to discuss specifics regarding a patient's case. There are several details to this case that may not have been communicated to you by the family. As Mr. Hauber has not signed a HIPAA release of information form, we will not be able to share those details with you. University Hospital Public Relations Director David MacArthur replied, they appear to be working on behalf of U of L Hospital. Unfortunately, the images that were provided by WAVE do not reveal enough information to track down additional details or identify whether the individuals on either day sought care from the AMRT. What is heartbreaking for U of L Health staff is that we often encounter situations where patients need assistance beyond medical care. As the community's safety net hospital, the challenges are particularly even more acute when providing health care to the unhoused population of Metro Louisville.
They had to point that out because trust me, that's the issue, right? That is the issue right there, the unhoused population, right? Because you know they have no insurance. Right, like you know that there's only going to be a certain amount of help you can actually give to someone off of insurance, knowing that you're signing them up for debt that they'll never pay because they can never really pay it, right? Guys, we need to move past this. Oh God, guys. I don't know how. I have no idea the direction. All I can tell you is that, again, guys, I live half of the year in Spain. Healthcare is completely free. This is so crazy to hear, because I know the only time we ever have to deal with anything involving healthcare, if it's in the United States of America, it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be generally here, right? And so I know if something happens, I'm just going to leave America and go back to Spain and get help within the next 10 hours, guys, right? If that makes any sense. But for the majority of America, they have to literally, God, I'm just trying to wrap my head around how ridiculous this is. I'm like getting so enraged as I'm listening to this more and more and more that I can't even like construct complete sentences.
Community resources are limited, and even when they are available, many individuals that may benefit from those resources still refuse assistance. The
Community resources are limited. That's all it is. It's about money. Purely. Look at the wording. Community resources are limited, and even when they're available, you know, they still not are really going for it. Bro, come on, listen. You guys are doctors. You guys took an oath to help people, but you're allowing these businesses to come in, these insurance companies to come in, right, and control you. So your oath meant nothing when you took it. Congratulations.
Individuals that may benefit from those resources still refuse assistance. The Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, known as EMTALA, was passed in 1986 as a federal anti-dumping law. It mandates patients who present to a hospital emergency department must undergo an appropriate medical screening examination by a physician to determine whether they have an emergency medical condition. If they do, they must be stabilized and treated, and an appropriate transfer may take place to another facility with adequate capabilities.
Juries take the hospital's obligations to treat emergency patients very, very seriously.
Attorney Hans Poppy knows that firsthand. He won a $2.3 million patient dumping verdict, most of that in punitive damages, after his client, who was coming to a Lexington hospital by ambulance with a cardiac emergency, was turned away and directed to another hospital.
Juries don't like to punish hospitals.
There aren't many verdicts in Kentucky history favoring plaintiffs in alleged patient dumping cases, but this one is interesting. A $1.5 million verdict awarded in Fayette County to a difficult patient with a history of ER visits, dumped by a hospital, rolled outside in a wheelchair with taxi fare, and hours later, the man was dead of an untreated ulcer. After being reversed on appeal, another jury socked the hospital for $1.45 million.
So what that tells us is if a jury hears a case and they believe that there has been an EMTALA violation where a patient has been dumped or abandoned by the hospital, they really get upset.
Dude, like, I'm worthless, man. We're throwaway. We're garbage, you know?
Now, I was contacted this week by a police officer who worked off-duty at University Hospital who says she emailed U of L Health CEO Tom Miller on March 1st about this issue and what she was witnessing, and she says she was then informed she would no longer be working there. I asked U of L about that. They say the officer was concerned about the same things they are, and they're collaborating to increase community resources for the at-risk populations. As for being let go after her email, U of L would only say that she was employed by a third-party security service.
Right. This, guys, this is disgusting. We have to do better as a society. Like, if you want to know why other countries are beating us and honestly everything, I'm just going to be honest, guys. Almost anything, if it's not military oriented, we're losing. Like, we're not number one in basically anything that's positive, if that makes any sense. I'm just, and it's a shame, guys. I love my country, guys, but we have a problem, right? We need to become number one again, right? I understand we built our country off of overall capitalism and things like this, guys. But we need to do better, or we're going to continue failing and being laughed at by every single country on this planet. Guys. Like, this is so disgusting, bro. Someone's life is boiled down to a couple $1,000s of hospital care. The only reason why it's a couple $1,000s is because the insurance companies say it should be. Because I can definitely tell you, anytime I go into any type of doctor's office or dentist anywhere in Spain, I can definitely tell you that the hospital care is literally equal, if not better, right? And free. My son was born in Spain. I know here in the United States of America, a baby born could be $10,000, $20,000, whatever it is, guys, right? It was free. It was free. Guys, so listen, there are a lot of issues, guys. I had a tooth removed in Spain and then reinstalled, basically, right? That cost was $50, €50, and that was because I went to a private dentist instead of the public one, And if you know anything about dental care in the United States of America, you know what I just said, guys. All right, 50 euros equates to maybe. Well, at that time, it was like $51. I think now it would be like $54, $55 or so, guys. Right? But still, under $60, guys. All right, all right, guys. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. I need to go ahead and depress, not depress. Oh God, guys, I need to relax now. Right? Loss of human life over something that's monetary is disgusting. Period. And I'm sure there are going to be people in the comments attempting to make excuses for this, and I cannot wait to respond to them. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.